Today we will discuss a little bit about. Okay, um, I was asking you guys, how are you doing? What's going on in your summers right now? Checking up on you guys. All right.
Yesterday, I just on I did an exam, and I did good in the midterm exam.
Yeah, you told me before. How did it go? Okay,
Yes, it went well. I think I will get an A in this subject.
inshallah. What what was the subject?
It was Islam 101.
Ah, nice. It's a good subject, easy subject as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. What about the others? Ready Player One says he's bored or she's bored. Yeah, I feel you. The summer is kinda boring right now with COVID and all. Yeah, sorry. Okay, today was watching YouTube. That's me all the time. um, okay, we are just waiting for a little bit for people to join in. But today, what are you expecting to learn today? Or what would you like to learn today about cloud computing? Do you have any experience with cloud computing? Anyone?
I have no experience, but I think that we will learn an overview of cloud computing, the cloud service providers, and how does it work. And yeah,
Nice. Okay. What about player one and Gada? Do you have a little bit of experience with cloud or you are just new to the concept? Oh, really? Which labs? On click on Quick Labs or Cloud Guru or what? Oh, nice. Okay, Gaida. Sorry again if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Um, okay. Today we'll actually use Quick Labs, and I will walk you through it with some explanation as well. We will open the slides. I prepared some slides for you to get you a heads up, and when the lab comes, okay, nice, cool. Um, and when the lab comes, we will go to Quick Labs. I will walk you through one of the labs in one of the quests, and then I will give you free access on Quick Labs for a month, so you can play around with it, do whatever quests you like, and this will be really helpful for you, especially for Jabir, because his major is cloud computing, and it will really give you a heads up. They have premium hands-on labs, practical labs, that are usually paid, but I have a free access code for them. So you can play around in Quick Labs for a month. Does that sound good?
yes, that's amazing. I'm so excited to actually practical practically use the cloud.
Okay, nice. And player one, he said a very good point. Yani, I followed some Quick Labs quests before, but I just followed the instruction, didn't really understand anything. That was me the first time I used Quick Labs, so it's fine. I'll walk you through it. And please, if you have anything that you didn't understand within the lab or within the slides, just send a message on the chat. Tell me that you have a question or you want something to be cleared. Okay, cool. Welcome Adarsh. Welcome again. Welcome TG. Welcome guys. Okay. So today, just waiting for the others. I'll just walk you through what we are going to do in this lab. So in this lab, we are trying to give you a heads up on what is cloud computing and what is it about, why it's the leading technology nowadays and in the upcoming future as well, and how does it work, what is the advantages and disadvantages of cloud, and what are the deployment models, what are the service models, what are the cloud providers, all of these stuff. We will touch on them quickly because we want this session to be a little bit experimental with cloud. So let's wait till 9:10 and we can start then. In the meantime, how are you, Adarsh? Glad to see you again. Glad to see you again, TG. Does the screen cast okay?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, nice. Okay, thank you, player one. All right, let's start our session for today. Welcome, guys. Today we will have a little bit of introduction to cloud computing. If there is an issue with the sound or the slides, please tell me in the chat. All right. I'm Abdurrahman Khalid. If you don't know me, I'm the DSC lead at the University of Bahrain, and we host sessions weekly, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Is that okay, TG? Okay, nice. So we do weekly sessions, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on different topics. So on Sunday, we will discuss some best practices for software engineers and IT enthusiasts in general. And on Monday, we discuss cloud computing, as we are going to do today. And on Wednesday, we discuss anything related to web development. And on Friday, we build the projects, hang out, do a long live stream while we are building stuff together. So yeah, for this session, our topics is we will discuss what is cloud and in short, what are the types of cloud computing, deploying models, service models, and popular cloud providers, and we will end it with a practical lab. All right. So to put it in some simpler term, cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT sources via internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage databases, and on an as needed basis from a cloud provider like AWS, Azure, and GCP. So if you don't know the most famous cloud providers are AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. We have Azure, which is managed by Microsoft Azure. And we have GCP, and it's a short for Google Cloud Platform. All right. So the CEO of VMware is telling here a good point. Cloud is how you do computing, not where you do computing, because it doesn't matter where you do computing. It does matter how you are going to do it. So, for example, let's imagine that you have a company or idea you want to establish, maybe an app, website, or whatever you want. So you will run into an issue, for example, like a small team. You have a small team or individuals that are working on the app with increasing demand on on your application. When it gets famous or recognized, it gets a lot of demand, and this is expensive for resources, and you have limited resources. Um, so it's better for you to go to cloud in that case. So why? Because you kind of see it in the SIS platform we have in the university. Do you notice when you go to register a course, it freezes for almost like 10 to 15 minutes because it has a lot of demand on it at the same time, and they have limited resources. Yeah, بيقهر قوي فعلا. Um, they have very, very limited resources in comparison to the number of the students. Yeah, so you can see that happens in real life because any software is stored on a computer somewhere, and this computer has limited resources. How it doesn't matter how big is it. Do you get me? So it depends on the demand in comparison with the limited resources. So let's discuss a little bit what do we mean by on-premise and on-cloud. So we get the idea better. On-premise, it means if you have a physical data center in your facility, for example, the university, all right? They have a physical data center. This, have you seen a data center before? Anyone? Yeah, in pictures, it's like a full room full of computers that are connected together. All right. Um, so this is the on-premise example. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Betul. So you kind of get the idea of on-premise. On-premise means everything is on our facility. All right. We have a room that is full of computers that are connected together, that hosting our services, our software, and everything. Okay, nice, Batu. So you will enjoy cloud computing a lot because it has a very specialized يعني, um, interest in networking as well. So you can get certified in cloud, especially in your major, which is networking. The cool thing about cloud that you can يعني, work on it with any major of your choice. If you are a machine learning architect, or you are a solution architect, or you are a developer, or you are an IoT engineer, anything works with cloud, right? So let's get this comparison going. Let's start with scalability. What does it mean, scalability? It means if the case of the SIS software that is hosted on the data centers in the university, they have limited resources, and if the high demand comes, it freezes, right? So it is not that scalable. Yani you can't increase the number of resources to match the demand, or decrease the number of resources to save space, or save time, or save effort, or save costs. Do you get the idea of scalability? So yeah, and scalability, you have a point, which is the first point, is you pay more for on-premise setup, which means if the university want to host an SIS on premise, so they have to invest in computers, they have to invest in data centers, they have to build them themselves, right? They have to hire engineers to do the networking and the cabling and the configurations and everything, and they have to provide security as well, security systems, maybe fingerprints, passwords on the locks, on the doors, on the systems themselves. All of these build up costs, right? And when you get a room, you are basically yani, renting a room, or taking a space from your facility. So you are paying value for the space that you are taking for the data center. You are paying for electricity to provide all these machines with electricity, and you provide them with air conditioning, AC system, because when you have a physical data center, they get hot, really hot, and it can damage the hardware. So you have to have a good quality AC system to get things cooled and functioning. And you get lesser options. You have يعني lesser options to configure يعني المachines with each other and stuff. And it's difficult to scale down. For example, let's say that the university for they will um, limit the number of students that apply next semester, for example. Let's set let's set it with numbers so we can understand. The SIS system, for example, manages to get 5,000 students at the same time. If there is 5,000 students and two, it will freeze. All right? Does that sound good? Okay. So what happens if the students, for some reason, every semester from now on, become 2,000 only, and you have capacity for 5,000? Now you are running resources without use. You are losing value in them. So it's difficult to scale down. How are you going to detach them? You have to configure them again and again and again. You have to set up everything manually. Do you get the idea of scaling down? Scaling up is the opposite. If you have 5,000 now, and you need, the students are 6,000 or 7,000, you needed to scale it up, right? So you have to buy more resources, you have to invest in them, you have to maybe rent a bigger room, or maybe configure all the devices again together to work together seamlessly, right? And with hiring engineers, all of that stuff. right? And often leads to heavy losses in terms of infrastructure and maintenance loss costs. So sometimes hard drive fails. That's how things work. Yani CPU fails, RAM fails, anything. So you have to, yani you will get maintenance costs, high maintenance cost, and infrastructure cost in scaling up or down or keep resources running for no reason. Okay, so this is the disadvantages of on-premise. When you go to cloud, it allows you to pay for how much you use. So, for example, if the SIS system is on cloud and its architecture is well implemented on cloud, when you get 6,000 students and you have 5,000 student resources, it will automatically, you have option to automatically scale it up to match the demand. And when the demand decreases, yani after the registration period, it will scale down automatically to match the demand, the current demand as well. Because sometimes you go to the SIS, request a certificate or request a feedback or something. So there is still users that uses the system. So it will scale automatically based on your demand. So you will save a lot of time there in scaling time, effort, cost, and everything when scaling up or down or running resources without use, right? And especially on cloud, you pay as you go model. This is the pricing model of cloud. So you pay for only the resources that you are using. So when you scale up, you pay for the resources that you scale up, but for only the period that you are scaling it up. When it goes back, shrink down, you will pay for only what you use. And if you use it, if it's available maybe 3 hours a day, for example, you will pay only for 3 hours a day. So this will save a lot of costs, upfront costs, right? So and it's much easier and faster provisions for scaling up and down. Let's talk about server storage, about the storage. On premise, you need a lot of space for their service. Yani, um, you need to have a room, physical room, to have all the systems in it, right? And you have power and maintenance hassles, as we discussed. In server storage, you actually don't. Yani, you can run the whole infrastructure from your laptop. It's fine because everything is on cloud, on the internet. So you can manage all your resources from one laptop or two laptops. That's okay, right? And it saves money and space as well, for the reasons you think it does, right? So maybe let's discuss data security. It's complicated to physical and traditional IT security measures. So you have to maybe hire bodyguards, for example, or security personnel, maybe integrate a fingerprint system or a card, security card system or password system, stuff like that. So you will have costs in that regard. In data security in cloud, it's much better because it's automatically managed and mentored by you with pre-configured security protocols, and you can customize them as well. So if you are well versed in security, you'll find cloud very applicable for your software. On data loss, for example, maybe the power went out for some reason, all right? Files got corrupted for the sudden loss of electricity. You have to manage how to manage your data recovery if you don't have a backup. If you have a backup, you have to maybe rent another room for backup, which is another cost and effort as well. Do you get the idea? Maybe maybe the EC went down. You have to quickly manage these emergencies. Maybe an earthquake happens and everything is lost. How are you going to manage data recovery again? So these situations you have to take in mind when you are building your infrastructure. On data loss, they have the cloud providers have already pre-existing, pre-configured disaster recovery and data recovery as well. So they can recover you in case of data loss or a disaster when a disaster happens with no or limited downtime on your software itself. So the software doesn't have to stop, or if it will stop, it will stop for a very, very short of time, and it will reboot itself again with everything intact again. All right. Let's talk about maintenance. It requires additional teams for software and hardware maintenance, considerably increases the cost, as we discussed again, maintained by cloud providers, substantially reducing the costs and resource allocation. They manage everything for you. They have, or basically, the cloud providers like AWS or Azure or GCP, they have very, very big buildings that are all servers and data centers, and everyone uses them. All right. So they manage the electricity bills, they manage the data recovery and the disaster loss for you. I will show you a graph soon about the regions. They call it regions. We have a region here for AWS here in Bahrain. All right. They opened relatively new, and they are going to host. Maybe they will. They have contracts with the government and the university as well to improve the systems there. All right. So maybe I will show you at the end of the session how these regions are structured and how they are used, right? Maybe we can see it in the lab as well. Okay, let's discuss about the service models. What do the cloud providers or the cloud-based services consist of, or what do they provide? They provide something called infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. These are the most basic services that you can find, and everyone uses them. There are different services derived from them, but these are the main services. So let's talk about okay. Let's discuss it with a little bit of fun. Let's discuss it as a pizza as a service. Okay. If you are doing everything on premise, as you can see here, do I have a laser pointer or something? Oh, yeah, here. On premise, it's like you are making your pizza at home. Okay, so you buy the cheese, the toppings, the tomato sauce, you light on the fire, the oven, you pay for the electricity and gas, drinks, and dining table, for example. You provide all of that for yourself. It's basically the same as on premise. You manage everything by yourself to make a pizza party. All right. Infrastructure as a service is basically when you go to cloud and you go with an infrastructure as a service. It's like a take and bake. It's like if someone give you all the ingredients and told you you just have to cook them and serve them. Okay, so it's a less complex procedure compared to the first one. So infrastructure as a service, it will provide all you with the back end already configured, and you have to just uh, focus on your development, right? If we go to platform as a service, it's um, it's more easier to work with because okay, it's like a pizza delivery. You don't have to cook anything. You just have to have the pizza at your home. the dining table, buy some drinks, and just receive the pizza and have fun. All right. For software as a service, it's like everything is managed by the vendors or the cloud providers, right? You just have to use the software. Okay. Let's give you examples on that. So traditional on-premise, we know it, right? Infrastructure as a service is like if you want to deploy a virtual machine, all right? They will configure you with everything related to networking, security, and everything, and you just have to build whatever you want inside of it, okay? So we can see it here better. Enterprise IT or on-premise, you manage all of these, the data centers, networking, storage, servers, virtualization, everything, right? In infrastructure, you don't care about these because they are already configured automatically for you. You just have to care about the operating system. Okay, I want Windows, Linux, Ubuntu, Mac OS, whatever. And you configure your database security and your application. As a platform, as a service, everything is configured for you. You just have to focus on your development. You just have to focus on your application development and just host it on the cloud. Software as a service, everything is managed by the cloud provider. You just have to use the software. If we can give an example on software as a service, it's like a Gmail, or Google Drive, or Dropbox, or Outlook. These services are cloud-based services that you use software as a service. They provide you these softwares as a service to just use them. Okay, so you get the idea about the IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS.
Yes, but what do you mean by applications?
Application is what you are building itself. Like I'm building the next Facebook, for example. Okay, so you are building, actually implementing code and stuff.
Okay, okay, all right.
Okay, so let's go to the most famous cloud providers. We have AWS, which is the bigger, most famous one, which is 33% of the cloud computing market. And then we have Azure, and then we have GCP. All of them actually يعني very applicable, and sometimes people use multiple cloud providers because maybe I can find a GCP service that it's better than its competition in the other two cloud providers. Or maybe AWS has a better machine learning service that it's better than Azure and GCP. Every one of the cloud provider is specialized in something, yani. It's well famous for something else. Okay, so let's give an example of companies that use AWS as a backend. You have Netflix, NASA, and Adobe. You all know these big companies, and they use their infrastructure on AWS. On Azure, you know companies like Ubisoft, BMW, and the NBA. On Azure, you have PayPal, Snapchat, and Spotify, right? There are many, many more, but these are just examples of famous products or famous companies that use their cloud, their infrastructure as in the cloud. Okay, cool. What's next? Okay, so yani nowadays, 90% of companies around the world are using cloud, right? And 30% of the IT budget is on cloud, and the total revenue in 2020 is that big number. These are statistics provided by that I did with my research. Yeah. So you can see how big of impact cloud computing is. All right. So that's it. I just provide you with a very, very يعني, quick introduction to cloud. Does everything sound clear, or do you have any questions? Of course, cloud is not all of that, and that's it. You have many, many more concepts, but this is a good roundup for an introduction. Do you have any questions, or you have any thoughts you want to share?
That was a good overview. Do we have to download Quick Labs like any software or something?
Okay, I will show you the Quick Labs platform, right? Give me a second. Okay, if you have any questions, please guys, don't hesitate to ask whatever you want to ask. Okay. Um, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Quick Labs is a platform for Google Cloud training. Okay. So they have physical and practical hands-on labs that you actually uh, use their platform, Google Cloud platform, in order to do specific tasks. And they will rate your progress based on what you did. All right. It's a hands-on lab with tutorials on how to do what you are trying to learn. So you learn by doing. Okay. So I will give you the access code at the end of the session because it might take us some time to configure it for everyone, right? But let's start with the lab first. They have labs as well for AWS, Azure, and stuff like that. But we are going to go with a simple introduction one to get you started. Okay. So how this platform works, it shows me, hello Abdurrahman, these the courses that I'm subscribed to. This is my progress in the specific quest. Quest means quest consists of hands-on labs inside of it that talks about a specific topic. For example, cloud computing essentials, right? This is a quest. This quest contains of these labs, as you can see here. All of these labs talks about the essentials of Google Cloud. When you finish all of these labs, this badge will light up and you can share it with your friends on LinkedIn. And it's a really good indicator that you are really working on cloud and you have some experience with it, hands-on experience with it. Okay. So actually, I want to, after that, you can go to my learning and you can see your labs that you are subscribed to. What are your progress in any of them? And you can go build your public profile with all the quests that you have finished, and you can share them on LinkedIn or anything. So I've taken some DevOps, Google Developer Essentials, networking in Google Cloud, infrastructure, healthcare and API, which is very interesting. You have blockchain, you have BigQuery, you have machine learning, you have data science and data engineering. You have a lot of stuff in cloud, right? Only resources you need for what? For learning about cloud? They are a very, very good start. For example, TensorFlow. Okay, they have specific quests for data machine learning and you use TensorFlow in them. All right. So it's a very, very good experience to have. And if you want to showcase that you are really an expert in something, you go to take certifications in cloud. I will discuss them maybe at the end of the lab. All right. Just remind me, player one. Okay, cool. So actually, I wanted to start with you with this quest, all right? The name is Create and Manage Cloud Resources, all right? So when you get this um, quest, what is actually written here? As you can see, it's an introductory quest. You have introductory, fundamental, advanced, and expert quests. It increases in difficulty, and they are very good experience to have. This is an introductory one, right? So this actually one of the quests that have a skill badge in them. So if you finish all of these labs, all right, you will get the final lab, which is a challenge lab that tests your knowledge based on the other labs that you have taken. All of these labs have tutorials in them, but the last one doesn't. It will ask you to do something and you have to do it, all right, without any guidance. And this lab rounds up all these labs together, or some topics of all these labs together. So it's a really good experience to finish all the labs and then go to challenge yourself in this lab. And another thing I want to mention, 6 steps is basically the number of labs you have in the quest. It will take you about 5 hours. Usually it takes much less. If you are, if you have a background on cloud computing and you are finishing a quest after the other, you will get experience in them and you can finish this 5 in 1 hour, basically, okay? And it will cost you 14 credits. 14 credits is the currency you use to play around with one of the labs. So this lab is free, this lab will cost 1 credit, and so on. You have to pay for credits in order to get to use Quick Labs. But usually, as you can see at the top, I have here a monthly subscription. So I actually have a limited number of credits I can use for 1 month. All right, and I have the access. Google provided me with an access code, and they provide me basically, which is good for you and good for me and good for everyone. They provide me with a new link every month. So basically, with if you guys are active and you are working with me and you like the labs, I can request for another link and provide you with a link, and we can continue working with cloud. All right. So basically, you have this free, awesome resource for free as much as you want. Okay. Does that sound good? Should we go to one of the quests and try one lab? Okay, cool.
Yes, let's start.
Okay, so this quest, you enroll in this quest using this button, and usually when you click on it, it will direct you to the first lab automatically. But you can go back and choose whatever lab you want. Okay, it gave me a tick because the tour of Quick Labs it's basically describes what I was telling you for the past 10 minutes. Okay, how do you use Quick Labs and how do you use the platform, right? It doesn't have actually a lab inside. So let's go to create a virtual machine. Does anyone know what a virtual machine is?
A virtual machine is like a new machine. You you download it in VirtualBox or VMware, and you download any operation system you would like to.
Yes, VMware is one of the emulators that you can install virtual machines on them, but you can install virtual machines natively on your machine as well. Okay, so and you can definitely do them in the cloud. Okay, so this is the structure of the lab. You have the title here. You have to do it, and you have a time limit with 40 minutes to finish it. You have here the table of contents for the structure of the lab, and you have here an overview. of what you are going to do and what are the prerequisites and how are you going to set up the lab. Okay, so let's read together. Overview: Compute Engine, which is a service provided by Google Cloud to create virtual machines. This service is called Compute Engine. You go to this service to create virtual machines, okay? You can create virtual machines that run different operating systems, including multiple flavors of Linux, Debian, Ubuntu, Red Hat, and so on, and Windows servers on Google infrastructure. You can run thousands of virtual CPUs on a system that is designed to be fast and offer strong consistency and performance. In this lab, you will create a virtual machine instance with Google Cloud Console and the G Cloud command line. You have the command line prompt, the CMD, right? And PowerShell, the terminal, basically. So in cloud, they have a cloud shell as well that you can manage all your resources from this shell. And this is one of the command lines that are provided in this cloud shell, okay? G Cloud. You will learn how to connect Nginx web server to your machine learning as well, a virtual machine as well. Although you can easily copy paste commands, we recommend you to understand the concepts. So everything, if you take it copy paste from the actual lab, you will pass the lab with 100%. But usually it's better to understand what are you copying and pasting, okay? What will you do in this lab? Create a virtual machine from the Cloud Console and from the G Cloud command line. So you will learn how to do it from the Cloud Shell or do it from the GUI, the graphical user interface, which is the Cloud Console. And deploy a web server and connect it to the virtual machine, okay? So prerequisites, we don't want these prerequisites for now because I will discuss them in the lab, no problem. These are just basic commands that we can use. Okay, so basically what we are going to do, click on Start Lab up here, okay. I can increase the size of the screen or does it look okay? Can you read
No,
it?
it's good.
Okay, cool. So when you click Start Lab, just a second. Okay, cool. Okay, let's start a lab. If this lab will cost 1 credit, I have a subscription, so it will tell me to use my subscription. If you don't have a subscription, it will ask you to pay, all right? So I will use my subscription. What? Okay, let me refresh again. Okay, just finish these, which I hate very much, but they are essential sometimes. Okay, done. What is wrong? Hmm. Okay, let me go to here. Let me Google Cloud Essentials. This is the lab I finished. It has a create virtual machine as well. It's the same lab. Let's try to start it. And you might notice that some of the labs are are existing in different quests as well, because sometimes they are needed to walk you through it again. If you finished one of them, if you finished I don't know what's wrong. But if you finished creating a virtual machine, it will actually give you the tick, the mark tick, on every quest that has the same lab. So you don't have to do it again. Okay. What's wrong? Okay. It worked with me fine before the session. Okay, let's do with compute engine. You can see sometimes this lab, you have to finish it, or this lab, they are equivalent. But this is for a Linux machine, this is for a Windows machine. You can take both if you want. Let's try to make a Windows machine. Cores. Oh, what? Currently, Quick Labs is doing a lot of maintenance and updating for their labs. So maybe that's the problem. Okay, now the lab started. As you can see, there is a timer that goes down, and you have a username and a password and the project ID that you are going to work on. Okay, because Google Cloud Platform is usually paid a paid service. So you have to, they give you accounts so you can play around. So you click on Open Google Console, it will tell you to sign in, okay? So delete all of this, I'll copy this, paste it here. Usually it's better if you do it in incognito mode, but it's fine for this session. Password, you have to click accept. No thanks. Okay. So this is the cloud, Google Cloud Platform. Just agree, don't agree on email updates because it's a temporary account. Okay, so this is the Google Cloud Platform. Does it look okay on the screen? Okay, cool. Here you find the main dashboard for your Google Cloud account. And if you notice, this project ID that you have here is the same account that you are working on right now. So you can build multiple projects with multiple infrastructure inside of them, okay? And here at top, you have the Cloud Shell. When you click on activate the Cloud Shell, click continue. And it will open for you the shell or the command line that you are going to work on. So it's set to the project ID that we have, and we can start our lab. Let's go with the tutorial. So the tutorial tells you that, okay, you go here to the menu, navigation menu, click on Compute Engine, or go to Compute Engine, which is here. What is Compute Engine? Compute Engine is here. So I click on it. So this is the service that will allow us to create and manage virtual machines. Okay, so you see here virtual machine instance. We don't have any right now. So let's see how we can create from the navigation, compute engine, virtual machines instance, and create instance. So what is create instance is right here. Okay, let's create an instance and go back and see. Okay, in the machine configuration section, Yeah, it's basically the same. All of them are the same because they provide the same services. But in the backend, sometimes it's better for you to use a cloud provider here or another cloud provider, or you can use them both as a hybrid cloud or multi-cloud. So these are different concepts that we are going to discuss maybe in the next sessions. So in the machine configuration section for series, select N1. So here is when you create an instance, it will show you this. Let me close this for now. Okay, it will tell you name the instance machine, the region, which is let's stick with the default. It's in Iowa and US Central. Okay. So maybe next sessions I'll discuss what is region and what is zone and what is the availability zones, edge zones, and stuff like that. Okay. And it shows you here the monthly estimate. How much are you going to use? Okay. So it's about 35 cents every hour. Okay. So in the machine configuration section for series, select N1. So machine configuration section, which is this. Let's go for the series and pick N1. Okay. It says the description here is cloud aggregation, the same as hybrid cloud. Um, there are some differences. Maybe that's a good point. We can discuss them later on. Okay. So N1, this type of series, it's powered by Intel Skylake CPUs and or one of its predecessors. Yeah. So it's an Intel CPU, right? So what else do we have to do? In the boot disk section, click change to begin configuring your boot disk. So here in the boot disk section, it's set to Debian Linux by default. Okay, so if I click change, it will open me a new tab so I can change the operating system that I want. Okay, so it tells me to choose Windows Server 2011 R2 data center. Okay, so let us try to see where it is. And so Windows Server, the version can pick 2012 RD data center, not data center core. Please be careful with the names because they mean different things. Okay. Okay, and just click select. Now you have selected your boot device. Okay. So it shows you a screenshot which is very helpful of what your project should look like at the end. Okay, and just click create to create the instance, and that's it. You have created a virtual machine with all the network and configuration is already provided. So cloud compute engine, this service is a perfect example of infrastructure as a service. It provides you with the basic infrastructure, and you have to just configure the rest. Okay, got it. And now you can see the instance here. The status is currently loading, and in maybe 1 to 2 minutes, it will be ready for production. Okay, so after you finish this task, it will tell you to click on this button and it will check for you if you did everything correctly or not. If you didn't, it will tell you what's wrong and you have to repeat it again. Okay? Here, um, the 100 points of this lab is only mainly for this button. Sometimes it has different buttons in the labs. Sometimes you get multiple buttons. So maybe we can refresh. Let's see. Okay, so it is deployed, خلاص. Okay, so that's basically it. This is very, very easy. So let's click check my progress. I did the lab correctly, so it get me 100%, and now I officially passed the lab. But there is additional resources. It will tell you to how are you going to do it with the Cloud Shell, because it's very important as well to know how to use the Cloud Shell. So I did this already. I clicked on the Cloud Shell, click on continue. You will have your account here. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is you can basically write this command, and I will explain you what this command means. Okay, so gcloud auth list. It will list you all the active authorized. It will tell you all the active accounts that are present right now. So this is our Google account that we got earlier. And it says you are on this account right now and one of the projects that you are going to work on. Okay, so this is the first command. We start with gcloud auth list. List all the authorized accounts on this project itself. Next, which is really helpful, it provides you with a simple output. So what do you expect from running this command? So it will show you the credentialed account is the account at mydomain.com, which is active, and what it shows here. Okay. And it will provide you with the output, general output, and an example output as well. So it's very, very beginner friendly to work with GCP and Quick Labs. Okay, so we can list the project ID with this command. So as I discussed, this is the project ID, which is basically this. We don't need to write these commands, but they are somewhat essential sometimes if you are running a project. Okay, so gcloud configure list project. It will show you all the projects IDs in your account, which you have an active one, which is this. So we are good to go. We'll provide you with an example output. Okay. So now let's remote desktop RDB into the Windows server. Okay. So I want to access this Windows server remotely from the Cloud Shell itself. So let's try to see how we are going to do it. After a short time, the Windows Server instance will be provisioned and listed on the virtual machine instance in the page with a green status icon, as we did here. Okay. Um, However, the server instance might not be ready yet to accept RDB, which is remote desktop. Okay, connections, as it takes a while for all the OS components to initialize. To see whether the server instance is ready for the RDB connection, run the following command. Okay, so gcloud compute instance. So that's how we get to access compute, which is compute engine service, and the instance inside of compute engine. And we write the command that we want, get serial port output for instance one, which we created. So let's do it, run it, and let's see what it will give us. Okay, and do you mean zone something for instance one? Yes or no? If prompt, type no and press enter. So everything that you are going to face is already written in the lab. Okay. So it gave us a lot of things here. Can I increase the size of this? Okay, cool. Can you guys see the comments, or I have to zoom in more?
Yes, we can see them clear.
Okay, cool. So it will show you, repeat the command until you see the following command output. Try to run this again to check the status until you get the instance setup is finished for instance one ready to use. Did we get that? No, I think we didn't get that. So let's write the command again. And let's see. Okay. Try the follow up with the steps as they said. No zone. No. Should us give us something. Okay, as you can see here, maybe I didn't notice it. So can you see it here? Instance setup is finished. Instance one is ready to use. Okay, cool. So RDB into the Windows server. To set a password for logging into the RDB, run the following command in the command shell terminal and replace instance with the VM instance that you have created to set username as admin. So we can do that. So now it will tell us to write a command and uh, just edit the command. يعني شوف replace the instance with the name of instance. So the name of the instance is instance one, right? And the username, we write this username. Okay. So let us write a command. So this is the command, and I will replace this username with this. So I will copy it, go back, paste it, and the instance name will be instance one. Okay, cool. So the command is telling you basically to reset the username and password for the RDB, Google Cloud, G Cloud Compute, reset Windows password for instance. I wrote instance wrong. Okay, instance one, the zone is US Central 1A, and the user is student quick labs. Okay, so let's see if the command, okay. This command create an account and sets the initial password for the user stuff in the cloud does not already exist. If the account already exists, resetting the password can cause loss or encrypted data. More information, would you like to reset the password? Yes, I think. Yeah, if you would like to reset the password, because we don't have any data loss or any encrypted data or something. So it's fine to reset the password. Okay, resetting and receiving password for student, our username for the instance, and it's updated. Okay, so let's see. There are different ways to connect to your server through Rdb, depending on whether you are on Windows or not. If you are using a Chromebook or other machine at a Google event, there is likely an Rdb already installed on the computer. Click the icon below. If you are not on Windows but using Chrome, you can connect to your server using Chrome Rdb for Google Cloud um, extension. Okay, so let me make this down. So you can access it from your local machine, or you can access it through here as well. Okay. So it says to you, will be prompt to install the Rdb extension. Let's try and see. Yes, download. Connect. Okay. So you can't see my screen right now. Okay. Let me edit the share of my screen with you. Be the full window. Can you guys see the screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. So you can download the RDB file to connect to the virtual machine, and it was downloaded. So it tells me you are going to remote desktop connection with the instance. Like, okay. Now it asks me for the password for my credentials. So let's go back here and type in the password. Okay. Our credential didn't work. Should work. I've never actually done this before. So okay, let's see what happens if we install the Chrome extension. Okay, so let's click on it. Maybe from here. Okay. I think I have the app. Do I have it? Or launch app? Okay. See. All right. Let's connect. Okay. Ask. Please enter new credentials. Okay. So let me copy this again and see, is it going to work or not? Hmm. So okay. Okay, it says the password from the output of above mentioned command. This command, okay. So let us do this command again. I think it provided us with a password, but we didn't see it. No, okay, this was it. Yes, it should give us a password. Let's see. Um, Something is wrong. What is it? So let me go back, check on the instance again. No, okay, instance is set up and ready to use. Let's go with the same command again. Yes, I want to reset the password. Okay, maybe they needed to authenticate the account again, maybe. Here is our active accounts. Okay, cool. This, um, this, it's telling me to check that the clock on my system is correct. Oh, my clock on my system is not correct. Maybe that's why. Okay, how to set it up. Be correct. Sorry guys, I just installed a new SSD in the system, so maybe that's why it doesn't work. Let's pick the zone. I think we are in this zone. Let's check. Yeah, we are now set to go. So let's do it again. Yes. Let's wait and see. Persist, confirm that the clock on your local system is correct. Correct UTC time on your system is okay. Let's close the shell and open a new one. I don't know what's wrong, but maybe it's my fault. Yeah, maybe it's my machine. Maybe because it is not configured right. It doesn't want you to log in into it. So it should provide you with a password. So let's finish the lab. It will provide you with a password. You have to log in and download the RDB file that we have downloaded right here, but we actually didn't use it because we don't have the password yet. So after that, when you click when you write the username and the password, it will automatically open like a window of a new of the connection of the remote desktop. Have you actually seen? It's like running it on VMware, but it's running on your machine itself. Okay, so you will actually see a fresh, clean install of Windows here with the command line and some additional tools that you have configured when you are running the instance machine. Okay, so that's it. That's the lab basically. We got stuck at the last point. Maybe you can do it by yourself. All right. So let us test our understanding. The following multiple choices, okay. We can create a Windows instance in Google Cloud by changing its in the vInstance console. So what is the answer? Yalla guys, I want you to participate. How did we change the operating system to be a Windows machine? From where? Okay, Batul says boot disk. Player one says 2. What about you, Jabir?
Maybe boot disk.
Yes. What else? Who's else? Adarsh? Let's see. Yes, correct. So which command is used to check whether the server is ready for an RDB connection? Which one? Okay, Batul says 3. Who else? This is actually fun thing. This is actually my first time to uh, to create a virtual machine that runs on Windows. I always use Linux, so it is a good experience to know. Jabr says 2 or 3. Batul says 3. Player one says 1. Okay, one is G-Cloud Compute SSH. We haven't discussed SSH connections yet, so it is not that one, player one, but we are gonna discuss it. Don't worry. G-Cloud instance get serial port output and 2 or 3 instance list. If you see the correct answer is probably 2. The first one is if you want to connect, establish a SSH connection to a Linux machine. Okay. The second one is what we use to check if the RDB connection is ready. The third one, it lists all the compute instance that we have created. So if we run actually this command, it will show us instance 1, which is the only one we did. Okay, if we have more, it will show you all the, it will list you all the compute instances that you have. Okay, Jabir? The last one, gcloud compute instance create, is a command to create a new instance. Instead of clicking on the VM instance button, create one, and going through the menus. Okay? So congratulations, you have finished the lab. After finishing the lab, you just enter the lab and close the Google Cloud platform. You can read the lab. It wasn't that clear, so maybe 4 out of 5. And thank you for reviewing this lab. Now you have to succeeded. Okay, so this is how the labs work. I don't know why the Linux one didn't work. Let me try again. So this is basically quick labs. What do you guys think of it? It's really easy to use, and it has good tutorials to follow. I just have some maybe the problem still exists. I still maybe have some problems with my local machine itself because I formatted everything. Oh, nice, cool. Batul is the expert here, inshallah. Um, okay, would you like to go for another lab, or that's enough for today? I'm fine with whatever you want. It is not that hard, yeah. At the beginning, of course, you have Later on, when you go, let me walk you through the catalog here. They actually run a lot of maintenance these days. You can actually see here, I have some courses for AWS, for example, security in AWS. You can see here, this lab has like an explanation point icon. It says this lab is temporarily offline for maintenance. They do a lot of maintenance to improve content and to review anything new to the services as well. So these are, you have almost like 650 quests, labs, courses on this platform, basically free for you for a whole month to play with it all you want. The levels here is a filtering system, but it doesn't work right now, maybe because of maintenance. You have hands-on labs, which is create a virtual machine. This is a hands-on lab. The quest is because يعني, normally in the real world, a lot of companies use multi-cloud architecture or hybrid cloud architecture. So you use different services from everywhere in the same application, from IBM, from Azure, from GCP, from etc. etc. And that's why. So it's good for you to know all of these things together. So the compute engine, which is the service that creates virtual machines on GCP, it's equivalent in AWS called EC2. Okay, so they work together. They're friends, don't worry. No, they are not friends. They are competitors, but they benefit from each other. Okay, so if you can see the labs here, you can see the level and how much does it take. We took the whole time of the lab with explanation and everything. So it's way much time that you need to finish a lab. So maybe baseline infrastructure. This is an introductory one. Discusses data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, cloud architecture. Cloud architecture is a fundamental level. Benefits friendship, I can relate. Okay. Okay. Fundamental is a more advanced level than introductory. You have introductory, fundamental, advanced, and expert. Okay. Some labs are almost 1 hour, at most 1 hour. Some labs takes more than 1 day to complete. Okay. Can specify if it's on demand or instructor led, but usually we deal with on demand courses. So deploy, manage cloud environments with Google Cloud, automations, exploring data with Looker for data visualization. Sometimes you see in the catalog as well, maybe in the catalog or the home, I don't remember. At the bottom, it will show you the featured learning, what people are learning right now. So maybe Kubernetes engine, which is very advanced for now. What is hot, what is being learned, Docker, if you heard about it, Microsoft Active Directory, which is related to Microsoft Azure, stuff like that. And you have specific quests that are tailored for some categories. Like if you want to be in infrastructure or DevOps or big data or security or skill badges or machine learning or websites and app development, you click on one of them, it will show you the related quests for them. So deploying applications is one of the quests. Websites and web applications, application development with Java, application development with Python, securing cloud applications with Prisma Cloud, other services, applying classification, regression, something related to machine learning, Google Developer Essentials, which if you go through it, it will provide you with maybe, let's try to analyze weather data with BigQuery. BigQuery is a service that lets you analyze data. So in this lab, you will work on actual data. So that's the good thing about Quick Labs. There is no dummy data. All of them are real data that is provided for real use. So you are actually experimenting with real data, okay? Not dummy data or example data. So it's really good, okay? Maybe we can go with one of the labs if you want to. What do you like to explore? Or we can end it for the day. It's up to you. I finished for today. If you want something extra, I'm here as well. What do you guys think?
Maybe
Yeah, go ahead.
maybe experiment something else.
What do you want to experiment? Do you want, what are you interested in? Web development, maybe machine learning, something like that?
Machine learning, maybe it's interesting.
Okay, cool, player one. Cool, Batu, thank you guys for the session. Are you willing to stick in so I can tell you how to get the 3-month access?
Yes, of course.
Maybe if Jabir wants to stick around, maybe we can do another lab, no problem. If the other guys are okay with it, of course. Okay, let me grab the access code for you, but it's better to do it in incognito mode, okay? I can, if I had it before. Usually, if you have the code, it has an expiration date. So usually the expiration date is within a month. So if you have an older link, which is older than a month, it probably won't work. Layla said, create another Gmail. To show you, Yani, I have a lot of Gmails to show you, no problem. Okay, let me open. Yeah, let me give you a new one. Let me go with this email that I created for the club. Let's see if I already have an account. I'm just signing in or logging in to with my Google account, so it's very easy. I have 0 credits, as you can see here, so I can't run any labs instead of the free one. Okay, so everything is good so far. I will give you the link. 1 second.
So the link for everything, or is it for limited labs?
No, it gives you see the credits here. When you sign in to the platform, everything is open for you. But if you want to learn something, you have to have credits. So, for example, if I went to this quest, for example, and I went to this quest, I'm interested in it. If I go down, it will show me the lab, but yani, I can't start it because it requires you 1 credit. So if I click start, car. Okay, need to just create new one and enter in incognito mode. Yeah, it's better to do all of the steps that I'm going to do in an incognito mode. Okay. Whatever, no problem. It won't let you to run the lab because I don't have any credits. It will ask me to buy credits. You can, if you go to this from the settings, you can see the subscriptions and credits. I had an access code here. I had another access code here, access codes, but now I don't have. You can buy credits. So the Advantage subscription is $55. Annual Advantage subscription is almost $500. So it's expensive. So it's by credits. So 10 credits is then $10. So it's very, very expensive. So let me go back, get the code for you guys. We look for it. Okay. All right, so hey guys, you can see the TXT file, right? This is the link. Okay. I will provide it in the chat as well. But please, this code is only provided for the DSC members. So please don't give it around for anyone. Okay. Okay, cool. So this link, it's a pretty simple link. It's bit.ly DSC-2021-7. So I will copy it for you and put it in the chat. Okay. Don't click on it yet, okay? Just follow me with the procedures, okay? So let's go to incognito mode window, okay? And copy the link and paste it in the search bar. It's important to do it in incognito mode so it doesn't automatically sign in you into a random account or something. So let's join in with Google account. So DC, I don't remember the password, I don't think. Let's try. Okay, I remembered the password. Okay, so now I'm signed in, okay? It will open you on a random quest you have to enroll in, okay? So exploring data with Looker. You have to enroll in this quest. So these steps usually late, maybe last year or the last 2 years, usually when you have an access code and you sign in, it's basically it. That's it. But for security reasons, they required you to get the access code and finish at least one lab from the quest that you are directed in. Okay. So now I'm directed to this lab. So I will start it. Okay. It's important to pass the lab. Sometimes people find some tricks to succeed in the lab without actually doing the lab, but let's finish it quickly. We don't have to look into it that much and finish it. Everyone got to this point? Okay, Ready Player One says yes. What about Batul, Jaber, and the others? Okay, cool.
Do I have to sign in a Google account? In my Google account?
Usually it's better.
Okay.
Okay, see you, Batu. Just do the procedures. I think you know the procedures. Just do the link. Um, enroll in the first lab in the quest that it will be shown on the screen. Finish the lab and refresh multiple times. Maybe close it. Maybe will give you the monthly free access in about 5 minutes or something. Okay. See you, Batu, next time. Okay, so I will open Locker, as I said. Um, okay, so I will sign in with the credentials that is provided. For the ones who don't know Locker, Locker is a modern data platform in Google Cloud that lets you analyze and visualize your data interactively. You can use Locker to do in-depth data analysis, integrate insights across different data sources, build actionable data-driven workflows, create custom data applications. So you can drive your business based on these data or provide some decisions based on these data. So let's go with the lab. We already signed in. Visualize your first measure. Okay. So go to the Locker navigation menu, click Explore, which is up top here. Next. Under the FAA, click airports. So we are analyzing airport data, data related to airports. Okay. Okay. Under airports, measures, click average elevation. Okay. So under airport, measures, which is here, click average elevation. When I click on it, it will be added here. Okay. What's next? Click run. So run is up top here. If I'm going fast, please let me know so I can slow down a little bit. Okay. We run it already. The arrow next to visualization to expand the window. Okay. Make sure that you complete the lab, okay, to get your 3-month access. See you soon. And please, guys, make sure to fill in the feedback form after the session. It should be on your email by now, so I can benefit from it as well. Okay, we clicked on visualization. So this is the number of the average elevation. Okay, click single value icon, which is single value icon here. Clicked on it. And this option that you can customize, go to the gear selector thing for visualization under here. And now you can format the data that you have accumulated here. Edit the style. Under the style, the value color, select a color of your choice. So under style, the value color, I want it to be pink, for example. Under the style, show title and provide a title in the title override box. So it's already checked, show title, and I wanted to name it average elevation, for example. So it describes what the number means. Now click on the gear icon again to close the settings. So that's great about Quick Labs. It's very detailed description of what you have to do, and it provides you with clear instructions. And if you have faced any problem, contact the support. They are actually real people and they help a lot. Okay, I faced some problems before and they fixed it for me very quickly. So they are very, very good experience. Okay. Click on the gear icon next to run and select save it to the dashboard. So I finished my visualization. Click on the gear here, save to the dashboard. And after that, it says provide this title, average elevation. So I'm gonna copy this in the title. Okay, what's next? Click on new dashboard, save it to a new dashboard from here and write the name of the dashboard. It says write airports/flights. On airport flights. Okay, so here, this, okay, it will be added here, as you can see here. Click OK and click Save to Dashboard. Okay, so it has been added to airport slash flights dashboard, and that's it. We can check our progress. We did great. Is everyone got this mark checked, or do you have any problem?
I reached the title steps.
Okay, did you click on the button yet? What about
Which button?
this button to check your progress after you finish the steps till here to save it to the dashboard?
No, not yet.
Okay. Please tell me when you do. What about the others? Gaida, Adarsh, DJ. Okay, Adarsh is done. When I get another confirmation, I will go for it.
How can I save to dashboard?
When you go here and you click Save to Dashboard from the gear icon next to Run. It is written in the documentation here. Here.
Okay, I just did it.
Okay, cool. You saved it to the dashboard. Inside the new dashboard called airport/flights. Yes. So tell me when you click on the button and it says you did everything correctly.
Okay, I'm entering a title now.
Okay, cool. The title is Average Elevation. And then you click on the new dashboard and save it in a dashboard called airport/flights. Click OK and save to the dashboard. What about the others? Are they following the steps? Does anyone have any problems? Okay.
I just did it. Assessment completed.
Okay, cool. So the next step is we will visualize some dimensions and measures. So in the local navigation menu, click Explore, Airports. So what we did here, Explore Airports to get this again, okay? And the available dimensions and measure will be listed for the Berlin airports. Under airports, go to dimensions, and from dimensions, click facility type. So here in dimensions, facility type. So we clicked on it and it has been added here. Okay. And under airports and measures, click average elevation. So back here, average elevation. So we clicked on it and it has been added here, as you can see. Okay. So what's next? Under airport measures, click count. So we go to measures, click count, and it will be added as well here, as you can see. On the data tab, change the row limit to 5. I experienced this, I think yesterday. I was supposed to host a session yesterday for best practices, but unfortunately I couldn't do it because the electricity went down in the whole building that I'm currently living in right now, and the internet was so bad on my package, and on my data package, so I couldn't run anything for the session. So the time was perfect, to be honest, to ruin everything. So I feel you. Okay, so in the data tab here, this tab, we change the row limit to 5. Click on it, enter. So the limit has reached. So everything is good right now. And click run. So let's click run. Everything is good so far? Everyone is following?
I'm actually a bit late.
Okay, no problem. But are the steps clear enough? Or do you want some explanation?
It says dimensions. I think I'm the third steps.
Here, in dimensions.
Yes, what is the dimension?
Okay, airports, under it there is dimensions, here.
Okay, okay.
And you click on facility type. And you click on facility type, it will show up like right here. Okay, let's continue. And if you are stuck on a specific point, let me know. So we went into number 7, we finished it. Number 8 is click the arrow next to visualization to expand the window. So again, we did this, shows us a number, and click on the bar icon. So this bar icon, where is this? Okay, this bar icon. All right, so it visualized some data first. Okay, click on the gear icon for visualization, which is this. Let's see what he wants us to change. Click on values, and under values, click value labels, click Y. Okay, so values here. And it says click on value labels. So check this one. So it will provide us, if you can see, without data labels, it didn't show us these numbers. Okay, so we wanted to show them. And click on Y, and under Y, so this is Y on the Y axis. What did we want? Click on airports and drag it under top axis. Click in airport and drop it into top axis here. Is this step clear? So basically, I wanted on the top axis, which is this, to display the airports, number of airports here. We don't care actually about the data. We are just trying to visualize the data itself. Okay, what is the next step? Average elevation will remain under the bottom axis, which is this. It will remain the same, which is this, the average elevation. So what's next? Under configure axis, top one, enter axis name count. Under configure axis. So we are still in Y, configure axis. So let's click on top one and change its name to count. Top one, and change the axis name to count. Okay, click on the gear to close the settings and click on this the gear icon next to run to save it to the dashboard as we did before. Save it to the dashboard. Enter the title, average elevation by facility type. Let's copy that, add it here. And select the dashboard that you already created. So airport/flights, you will see it here. So select it and just click save to the dashboard. So it is now saved to the dashboard and we can click to check our progress. So our progress is complicated. I got 100 out of 100. And now I officially can close the lab. Into the lab and review it. It was easy and well explained, so I give them 5. And now if you see, you have 9 credits. So the link gave you 9 credits in order to start the first lab, okay? Or start finishing the first quest. And after finishing the first quest, you should get, instead of this 9 credits, monthly subscription. So did anyone finish the lab with me? Or you are still in the lab? If you have anything hard or it is not clear, let me know. I'll show you where it is.
I am still in the lab.
Okay, cool. Everything is working okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Nice. What about the others? Adesh, Gaida, Layla? Everything is okay? I know Layla has some internet connections. What about the others? Completed the lab. So great. That's great. So it should change in any minute now. Maybe refresh it, sign out, sign in again, stuff like that, and it will be displayed here in about maybe 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, cool. You have finished the lab, Gaida? Successfully? Okay, nice. If anyone get the monthly subscription, please let me know. It will show you here instead of the 9 credits. So I will actually close this window and keep this the normal browser without the incognito and see this is the quest enrolled in. I'll just refresh a couple of times, maybe sign out and sign in again.
I just completed. How do I know if I received any credits?
Okay, so do you see your icon up top? Click on it. It will show you have 9 credits, right? Or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes, I have 9 credits.
Okay. After finishing the lab successfully, it should change in about 5 minutes or so to be a monthly subscription instead of 9 credit. Okay.
Okay, so we have we can do any lab, right? After we have the monthly subscription.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to go through another lab while we are waiting for the credits? Or what do you think?
Maybe a short lab if we can.
Okay, sure. What are you interested in from these?
Machine learning seems interesting.
You want machine learning?
Yes.
Okay. Let's find an introductory one. Not go with this. This is not our scope. Integrate with machine learning APIs. I will try to find you a cool one. Would you like to go into language processing? So it's like when you ask a Google Assistant for something with your voice, it recognizes the part of the sentence. It recognizes that okay, you want this action. Have you talking with talked with Google Assistant or any virtual assistant before?
But is Siri a virtual assistant?
Yeah. Siri.
Yeah, I used it before.
You have Cortana for Windows. You have XP for Samsung. You have Google Assistant. You have Amazon Alexa. There is actually specific labs for Google Assistant here. So you can customize your Google Assistant to create custom commands as well. So it's very fun lab as well to pick. Did anyone get the monthly subscription yet? Yeah, I got it here. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys. I'll have to leave now. See you next time. I hope my internet connection is stable next time. No worries.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you. Would you like to continue with another lab, or that's it for today?
That's it for today.
خلاص, okay. What about Ugaida and Adarsh? Have you all gotten the monthly subscription yet? Okay, cool, Adarsh. Just tell me if any one of you got the monthly subscription. I got it now. So, okay. So it works. Adarsh got one. Okay. Okay. So please play around with Quick Labs if you want. I highly suggest. Okay, you can go to the catalog and favorite some labs. Okay, I will suggest you some labs. Go to this one, Google Cloud Essentials, and this one, and this one as well. This one is related to data, machine learning, artificial intelligence. And what else? There is what else? Mm, intro to ML. You have, if you write this in the search, you will get, I guess, 3 quests, different quests, I believe, or 2. Yeah. Language processing and image processing. You can go with a Jabber if you want. They are very good introduction to machine learning for language processing and image processing.
All right, I will start learning them.
Okay, nice. So you have these labs here with different services, and you have these labs for different services. Make sure to enroll in a quest first, and then go to the labs one by one. Okay, guys, I think it's enough for today. Thank you for joining in. Please fill in the feedback form. It will help us deliver better content for you next time. So that's it. Any questions, any requests for future sessions? Do you have anything to say before we end?
Again, what was your recommendation courses, labs?
Okay, so you have Google Cloud Essentials. You can search them up if they don't show up to you.
Okay.
You have create and manage cloud resources, which is basically as Google Cloud Essentials, but it has the challenge lab that I mentioned. So it will be really cool if you finish it completely with the challenge lab. I highly recommend it. Baseline infrastructure, baseline data, ML, AI. And you can write here in the search, intro to ML, and you will get 2 quests. These 2, they are really good. Basically, and if you are interested in different ones, just try to pick the introductory one. This is very important, especially in the first couple of quests in your learning phase, because if you go to a fundamental one or advanced one or expert one, you might get very lost because they are very comprehensive and complicated sometimes. So try to look for an introductory one and pick whatever you want from them. You might find one quest that you might be interested in more than the ones that I suggested. And sometimes when you go, for example, for example, this advanced one, it will show you the prerequisites. You have to finish this one first, which is another quest or another lab. So you have to finish these first before you go into this one. But normally, don't go for these advanced ones. Go for the normal ones, and maybe we can pick the pace up and go for a more advanced one later. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Cool. So my level is in advanced right now, and it's pretty hard. I finished fundamentals and recently, and it was challenging. Yeah. And I am still in the advanced phase. So I'm telling you, when I told you and I tell you do the introductory first, it's very highly recommended to do. It will be very user friendly for you guys. All right, and you can go back to the to home and click on one of these categories and find what interests you. So if I click on machine learning as Jabir wanted, you will find courses for fundamental, expert, advanced. You have introductory here, and you have basically more than 100 labs and quests you can enroll in. This is another introductory one. Perform foundational data, machine learning, and AI tasks in Google Cloud. So it's a beginner-friendly one. You can go with it. All of these are the names of different services provided by Google Cloud Platform. So data flow, data prep, data proc, um, natural language API, stuff like that. So everything is clear?
Yes, everything is clear.
Okay, cool. Experiment with it. It's highly recommended for you, Jabal, to use this platform more than anyone in the meeting today because you are a cloud computing major. It will benefit you a lot. But I think what are you going to take as labs, practical labs, is AWS labs on AWS Educate, which is another platform provided by AWS. They provide you with credits in the courses as well. So they are actually very similar. Yani the concepts are very similar. The compute engine service that we used is the same one as in another one in AWS called EC2, which is a service that lets you create and manage virtual machines. And they basically provide the same settings as well. Maybe minor differences. But for you, it's important to know how to do them first, have an idea about them. So when you go to take your courses, you will have a pretty clear idea about them. All right?
All right. Thank you so much for the resources.
Okay, cool. I have a lot more resources for you, but maybe in the upcoming sessions. And this one is free for you right now for the whole month. Experiment with it as much as you like, benefit from it as much as you can, and then I can request more resources based on your interactivity, guys. If they see the DEC is active and a lot of people are interested in cloud, they provide me with other free resources from Google Cloud or other resources. Same for different topics as well. And maybe we can invite a machine learning engineer or something from Google to speak with you guys, if you want, or a machine learning expert or a Google developer expert. So yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
The long as you, the more you want, or the more activities that you are participating in and providing feedback and such, we will provide more resources as well, right? And all we do is volunteering, but we can provide certificates as well for special events, or maybe we run some challenges on Quick Labs before. So we said you have an access for a month. You have to finish these 5 quests related to machine learning. So this is a machine learning month. Finish these 5 quests, and whenever you finish them, you will get a gift box sent to you by email from Google itself. So it was really fun. We did it for 3 months in a row for web development, quests, and machine learning, and what is the last one? Data science as well. We did 3 months in a row, 5 quests in each month for a specific topic, and whoever finished them got free boxes from Google, sent them by email. So it's a very fun, yeah, maybe with a certificate, some pens, some stickers, stuff like that. Maybe in some events we provide Google Home Assistants, hardware devices, stuff like that. So it's actually pretty fun. If you tune in, and the more you participate and enroll in the sessions, the more you get from benefiting it. And sometimes when you finish these courses as well, we provide you with a premium course on Coursera for free to get a professional certificate as well. So that's a cool thing that we can provide as well. It all depends on your dedication. And the end, the prizes don't matter much as the knowledge that you acquire for running these labs and learning from it. So guys, that's the end of today. If you have any last words, you can say them now. Otherwise, I will stop this meeting.
Thank you so much for this wonderful session. We really enjoyed it.
You are welcome. If you face any problems, you can contact the support or Quick Labs, or contact me if you want. It's fine. Yani, they provide really, really good support. So thank you guys, and see you next time.